Greetings from the once again white hills of South Dakota, United States of America. Today is the 16th of April, the day after tax day. I was just reading a whole bunch of new taxes that have to do with Obamacare, and wow, that's a pretty complicated bill there. I guess Nancy was right when she said we'd have to pass it to find out what's in it. I don't know if we'll ever find out everything that's in it. Maybe there's an infinite amount of stuff. Well, I'm getting off. What I'd really like to do here is perhaps introduce a new playlist, Yammerings and Yowlings. I promised myself I wouldn't do that. But I've got to yammer and yowl a little bit about this because it's just so amusing. My furnace malfunctioned yesterday. So I had to call the contractor that I have, and I'm sure glad I got that maintenance contract, by the way. It's more than paid for itself over the years. But my furnace malfunctioned, and someone came out pretty quick. It was not bad. It's Home Serve USA, I believe they call themselves. Worked out pretty good. The guy came out. But I was reading over my old Montana Dakota Utilities customer service stuff, and I had a preferred plan with them before they transferred it over to Home Serve, and they said that they discontinued their preventive maintenance plan, or they discontinued preventive maintenance as part of their service agreement. That is, an annual inspection of your furnace or other appliances. They discontinued that because they said it was not a good predictor of malfunctions. And I started thinking about that, and I said, all right, well, I guess it's not cost effective or something, but here's the rub. Here's what I'm not wrapping my gray matter around, all right? Suppose that you have a preventive maintenance agreement and the person comes out and he inspects your furnace and he finds something and he says, if you don't fix this, this is going to malfunction. Like your blower motor is getting weak. If you don't replace it, it might fail on you, and then it'll cost some money, or you'll have to have a repair call. So why don't we replace it now? So they go ahead and replace it. Problem never occurs. Now, how can you say that preventive maintenance of that source is not a good predictor of repairs or events that necessitate repair calls? How can you say it's not a good predictor of those events when it prevents most of those events from ever taking place? I mean, how can you predict something that never occurs? I'm not getting it. I'm not wrapping my brain matter around that logic. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe I'm just screwed in the head. Like they do in some countries. You get into a car accident, like if you're an American citizen and you go to country XYZ and you get into an automobile accident, they'll blame it on you. It's your fault. And the reason, they say, is because if you hadn't been there, the accident would not have occurred. If you had not visited our country, this accident would not have taken place. Therefore, it's your fault. Okay, well, that's logic. That's screwed in the head kind of logic. But it does make a certain perverted sort of sense. So am I using the same sort of perverted, brain-muddled thinking here by saying that if you have a preventive maintenance agreement and you take the necessary action to avoid problems that might occur, like, for example, replacing a weak blower motor or replacing a weak inducer motor or something of that sort, getting it cleaned so that it doesn't back up with, whatever deposits there are, all those sorts of things. If you get those things done and the problems that would have occurred don't because you took preemptive action, then how can you say that maintenance agreements are not a good predictor of malfunctions when you're predicting or attempting to predict something that never happens? I just say that. Okay, Stan Gibilisco, you tell me. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe I'll dare to leave comments open. I know on YouTube that's a pretty doggone dangerous thing to do, but it'd be really fun to find out whether I'm just muddled or whether the people who thought up that excuse are muddled, or both. Well, everybody's muddled. We know that. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that this whole world is muddled. But some people are more muddled than others, I guess. Stan Gibilisco from the White Hills of South Dakota signing off. Till next time, so long.